Hello, dear teacher and classmates. My name is Juliana Montesinos, and I'm going to talk about the graded activity number 4. It's a video recording. The use of the 4 tests or 4 phrases. We have ellipsis, substitution, transposition, and coordination. Ellipsis consists of a complete clause plus an incomplete clause joined by the conjunction and. This is one of the most used ones. So we have an example. He went to his office and finished his latest work. I have this yellow mark in here because we are not going to repeat that twice. Conjoined with full sentences, they are meaningful and commonly used in ordinary speech. Amelia is a chef and Juan is too. So we are having a different way of saying things. We are not repeating, and we are having a more fluent conversation in this case. The meaning of elliptical sentence is dependent on the meaning of the independent clause that precedes it. They played tennis and needed a good court. It's obvious that they played tennis, so it's not very useful to use again the word they because we know we are talking about them. Transformational rules have the power to delete elements from a sentence when there are two of the same kind in the same structure. For example, what did you do yesterday? Worked on my speech. We are not saying, yesterday I worked on my speech, because it's not necessary, even though we can use that too. Substitution. In grammar, it refers to the replacement of a word or phrase with a filler word such as one, so, or do. For example, Joseph studies in a university close to where I do. It's not necessary to say Joseph studies in a university close to where I study. So it's kind of easier for us to say this. We can also replace a noun or noun phrase with a quantifier like some, all, each, none, both, either, neither, a few, among others. For example, all were really good, but just a few were going to win. It's another way to replace the noun. If the phrase or word is substituted without affecting the grammaticality of the cause, it will have the same function as the original. For example, Mary is my cousin. She is a doctor. We're talking about Mary. That's why we are not repeating the name again. And the last one I have is with coordinate clauses where the action is the same in both, we can also use so plus auxiliary plus subject. In this case, I have the teacher called the principal, so I did. I called the principal too, but I'm not saying in this way, I'm using the word so. Transposition. It displaces a phrase into a new position where another grammatical function is assigned. For example, before you leave, turn off the lights. Another way of saying this is turn off the lights before you leave. Transposition also applies to phrases without prepositions. Another example is Juliana cooked an amazing lasagna. The amazing lasagna was cooked by Juliana. Refers to the movement of the object in active clauses to subject position in passives. So, the university created a reading group. The reading group was created by the university. Another example, he did an amazing job in his lab. An amazing job was done by him in his lab. And the last one is coordination. It's defined as a grammatical linking of two or more words, phrases, or clauses belonging to the same category. or equal prominence. For example, I studied design and English. Another meaning. Coordination is a flexible mechanism, has a flexible mechanism of syntax. Are you staying home or just going to work? It is possible to join not only identical lexical categories, but also identical phrasal and clausal categories. Anna cooks, but Juan cleans. Refers to placing together two or more elements that have exactly the same syntactic function. Another example is Anna and her sister read the newspaper every day. In my opinion, all of this is really important. The four tests for phrases are very useful for foreign people because by knowing all of this, we know how to relate with people that know really well the grammar. So it's really important to understand all of this in order to have a good communication and to say words wisely. I have the references here, and thanks very much for your attention.